If you are a baker that either runs your own at-home baking business or you maybe own a bakery storefront, then this video is for you. But don't worry, if you are not into food and not into baking but want to know how to run a YouTube channel in 2020, then this is the video for you. Hi, it's Ashleigh from Sweet Dreams Bake Shop. Now, I know I don't usually post videos specifically about YouTube. I've done one or two on the off times, but I thought since this is really about baking as well, that I would add this to my channel. And I know that before I even started making YouTube videos, I was always really curious about particular things about my favorite baking channels. I always wondered things like, where does your product go? And how do you find the money to get the products in order to make your video? And I also wondered, how often are you doing this? And are these orders for people? So there's lots of different things that I wondered. And I am going to be answering some of those questions right now. But I'm also going to be answering the bigger question of how do you run a baking or food YouTube channel with little to no stress at all in 2020? So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the actual steps that it takes to build your YouTube channel. Now, I realize that I am not one of the biggest YouTubers by any means. I am a very, very small, tiny speck of a YouTuber in the whole scheme of things. But I will say that I'm basing my minor success on the fact that I did get monetized on YouTube in 2020 in under a year. So I do have a little bit of knowledge to share with you. So the first thing that you need to do if you want to start a baking channel is you need to ask yourself, why do you want to start a YouTube baking channel? Now, I'm gonna say this, and I know that this is something that a lot of people always say, but if you're going into this thinking that you're going to make a lot of money, I mean, you very well might make a lot of money, but if that's your sole purpose, then this probably isn't going to work out for you. You might be doing it for a number of reasons. I know my reason was that I was on mat leave and I was just wearing my pajamas a lot. So I really wanted to get up and go and do something. And so that's why I started my channel. I mean, that's the really short and fast explanation of that, because I had thought about starting my YouTube channel prior to that. But of course, like many of you guys, I'm sure you face hurdles in your mind about why you haven't started your channel just yet. And one of my hurdles was I had a whole full-time job. So I thought it would be A, really challenging to upload videos and work at my full-time job after my maternity leave was over. And B, I was just kind of worried about what people would think of my videos in general. And I was more so worried about the fact that my particular job means that other people that are much younger could be watching my content. And for me, I actually have a really family-friendly channel. So there was really nothing to ever worry about. In fact, most of the people that I work with see me in this manner, so I got over that worry fairly quickly. You need to have a passion for whatever it is that you're going to be doing on YouTube. And chances are, if you've clicked on this video, that's because you are into the baking or food niche. What's great about our niche is that it's very easy to make multiple videos in this niche. There's always new things going on, and it's also really easy to stay true to your niche as well. For myself, I knew that I wanted to make cookie and cake decorating videos, and there's always new cake and cookie trends that are always happening. Later on in the video, we're gonna get more into the types of things that you should make videos about if you wanna be successful on your channel, so make sure you stick around for that. You want to do after you've decided that you are going to start a baking or food channel of some sort, or any channel of any sort, you want to make sure that you have attainable, reasonable goals. Goal setting is very important. I'm sure in any aspect of your life when you've wanted to achieve something, you've probably set some sort of goal. Now, goals can range. They can be small, they can be medium, and they can be out of this world huge. But I will say that for the majority of people and all the videos that I've listened to regarding goals on YouTube, it's a very numbers-based goal. And there is by no means anything wrong with that. If you like to think in numbers and you want to say to yourself, I want to make it to 2,000 subscribers by the end of 2020, I say go for it. And if your mind works well in that way, then I say do it. Now for myself, I normally would make a goal like that, but I'm really glad that I didn't make any goals like that for my YouTube channel. For my YouTube channel, there's been two main goals, and these goals will probably transcend all of my time on YouTube. The first goal being, I want to upload daily. Now that is kind of an unusual uploading schedule. It is really challenging to upload daily. For those of you that are maybe just joining my channel and don't really know too much about me, I have two young children that are not school aged. I have a full-time job like I previously mentioned, and I do upload daily tutorials or baking business tips on this channel. I am not telling all of you guys that you have to upload daily, because I understand how that could be really challenging for some people, and it is challenging for me. However, I am saying that it is good to have a goal where it is an uploading schedule goal. So if you want to upload 3 times a week, I think that's a great goal. And then my second goal is I want to upload content that I like to watch. So I've watched a lot of baking YouTube videos prior to even starting my channel. I've always been a huge watcher of YouTube for several years. So I kind of already developed what it is that I liked about certain channels and what it was that I didn't really like about other channels. So that's how I kind of developed my own personal style when it comes to video making. So the reason that I say that those two goals are probably the most productive for myself is because if I were to say I want to get to X amount of subscribers or X amount of watch minutes, that would make it nearly impossible to achieve my goal every single time. I want to have goals in place that are very attainable for me and are something that are within my control. I can't make somebody hit the subscribe button. I can't make somebody sit there and watch the whole duration of my video, but I can keep to a very tight uploading schedule, and I can make sure that I'm uploading videos that I am happy with. And because I've done that, instead of trying to focus on goals that are very numbers driven by other people's decisions, I have been able to grow relatively stress-free. The next piece of advice that I can give is one that's a little bit unorthodox. And I completely understand if you want to take this piece of advice and maybe file it away in a different place, because maybe it's not for everybody. But I never researched. And what I mean by that is I don't really spend a lot of time looking at which videos are gonna do best, and I don't really research that much on how to use TubeBuddy or other things that may possibly help your channel. Now I know there's tons of videos on SEO, and it's not that I don't think that those things are useful. I actually just simply don't have the time to research. And because I don't have that time to dwell and to research, and I'm uploading daily, it actually eliminates a lot of the stress, because I feel like I'm putting out content that I just really like. Whether it's popular or not remains to be the question. But I found that with my view counts, sure, they're not the highest, but I have lots of videos now that are over 1,000 views, and I feel like for a channel that is just starting out and is still in its first year, that's pretty good. So I don't research, but I do know several channels that do, and man, are they successful. But I feel like it really just eliminates the worry of not having to research so much. Now, I do want to talk about SEO for a second. I am by no means an expert. There are way more people that have expertise in that. I did watch one video on SEO, and I do try to use some of what I learned, but I really don't think that what I'm doing with my hashtags and all of that is actually optimizing my growth. I do think that it's helping somewhat. So I do think watching maybe 1 or 2 videos is good, but I also think that spending all your time on SEO and learning how to do that is maybe not that necessary, especially in the baking niche. I'm gonna start talking more about baking-based things right now. If you wanna hear what I have to say about the baking portion, then please keep watching. When it comes to the logistics of running a baking channel, if you have your own bakery at home or a storefront where you're actually working full time as a cake decorator, cookie decorator, artist, whatever, then I think having a channel would be super, super beneficial. One of the downsides of what I have to do is sometimes I have to make things just for the sake of making things because I want to make that particular thing. And so I need to spend out of pocket if I want to make a particular project. And in the beginning, that happened a lot because I was not taking on any orders, not even from friends and family. So I really was just baking for the sake of baking for the channel and making things. Now that I've accepted a few orders from friends and families, it's a lot better. And I've also found my rhythm for what I am uploading. And we'll get into that in a minute. But going back to the logistics of actually baking and then uploading those videos, if you are someone that does a lot of orders, you might as well just turn on your camera anyway. If you want to know exactly my process for how I make these baking videos, then you can go ahead and comment down below and tell me that you want maybe a tutorial on how to film the baking itself. Now, I know I may be oversimplifying things because I'm just saying, oh, just turn on the camera and there you have it. Now, you could do it in one of two ways. You could just live stream all of your decorating that you're doing. And if you have the gift of gab and explaining and teaching, then I think that could be really, really useful for you. You don't have to edit anything down whatsoever, so you're not going to be going home after work wasting time editing down videos. You could literally just go live and create these amazing videos with all of the amazing cakes that you're already making at your shop. So not only are you going to be making money from your cakes that you're making at the store, but you're also going to make that little bit of extra pocket money once you get monetized to do that. So I think that would be a really, really great option. The second option is you really can just video what you're doing. And maybe you're not the type to want to talk and engage with your audience. That's understandable. Some people feel really on the spot when it comes to lives. So you could just turn on your camera, and then when you get free moments, you can edit down your videos. And honestly, I do all of my editing, all of my filming on my iPhone. It's not even a super, super great quality iPhone. It's literally one of the lowest that you can buy. And you can create videos off of that very easily. So that's one of the huge, huge benefits of being a baking YouTuber while owning your own at-home bakery or your bakery store. So once you've established your channel and once you've started planning your videos, the thing that I struggled with was not wasting. So remember we talked about how I said that I would bake a lot of things, but just for the sake of baking. So I actually have a lot of frozen items in my freezer right now, but they're super great because what I do is I freeze those items, and then once I've accumulated enough items, like enough sugar cookies, I will pack them up and then I will bring them to work and give them to people at work. Or I'll give them to friends or family. But if you are like me and you don't actually do your baking job full time, you can find ways to not waste. So like I said, I started taking on orders. That really, really helps cut down the waste because I'm actually making things for people. Now, if you want to know how I actually make that work money-wise and how I actually juggle all of that to make sure that it's worth it for me, worth it for them, and I maintain creative control, go ahead and click that video in the upper right-hand corner. One thing about our baking niche and food niches in general is it is incredibly saturated and there's a lot of competition. There's some amazing cake decorators out there and amazing cookie decorators. And when it comes to those really, really amazing channels, not only are they incredibly talented, but they also have bigger budgets than we do, especially when you're starting out. So it can feel like you're a really tiny fish in a gigantic ocean. So what I suggest is that you try to find your something special. Now, when I originally started my channel, I thought I would be making a lot of delicious dessert ideas, I'd be trying out different recipes, and I would be making cookie and cake tutorials. Now, I do those things, but you'll notice that some types of videos that I used to make have kind of gone away because you're going to learn that certain videos don't work for your channel. So when I first started making my baking business tips, I really was just doing it to test the waters. I wanted to see what that would be like. Would people even like listening to me talk? Because personally, I don't like listening to me talk. So I thought that my cookie decorating and cake decorating was a lot more interesting. But when I look at the numbers, I see that a lot of people are actually watching my baking business tips. And when I look at which type of videos are drawing in subscribers, it's my baking business tips. And I really, really never thought that I would be making so many baking business tips videos. Because even though I did have this knowledge, I didn't think that it was anything special. And that's the thing. You really, really need to listen to your viewers, listen to your subscribers. And they're not going to be saying more baking business tips, please, necessarily. They're probably going to be showing you in your views and what type of videos get more watch minutes. So in the beginning, stick to your niche, but try different things out within your niche. The next thing I'm going to talk about are the most popular types of videos in the baking niche. So right now, I think I have a pretty good handle on what types of things are popular. And there are lots of times that I publish videos knowing full well that they are not going to be popular at all. For example, a lot of my cookie decorating videos, some of them catch on, but some of them don't. So I still make them because I like that content. And that's kind of going back to what I talked about being passionate about your content. So I don't feel too badly when it doesn't do too well. I know that not everybody is gonna like what I like, but you need to make sure that you're outputting content that you really like. But videos that are doing really well right now are 1-star versus 5-star bakeries, where you can order the same cake from a 1-star and a 5-star bakery and then compare them. That one's really great because it really doesn't require you to do much of anything except for pay for the cakes. The next thing is TikTok recipes. Doing TikTok or viral recipes that are constantly being clicked on and people are searching for those specific tags. Those are great as well. One of my first videos that started to blow up was my Dalgona coffee whipped video. And I was so surprised with this one because I had gone so many weeks with just, a few views here and there. And then all of a sudden, after that video, I started getting a really good incline of subscribers and watch time. Making outrageous or over-the-top cakes is a huge draw for people, and that I think transcends time. In the beginning of YouTube, I constantly watched those types of videos when they started popping up just a few years ago. Because YouTube was a different place about 10 years ago when I was watching. It was a lot of skits, not so many tutorials. So as soon as those cake tutorials started popping up, things just got more and more extravagant. And I feel like if you put up a super extravagant cake tutorial or cookie tutorial, you're probably going to do well. Even my videos that don't start out that popular, that are maybe about wedding cakes, I find that if they're 2 tiers or 3 tiers, they start picking up speed. Whereas sometimes my 1-tiered cakes just kind of stay like this the whole time. And finally, one of the biggest things right now, and something that is blowing up on my channel too, is transforming really cheap grocery store cakes and making it into something amazing. But a lot of these videos that I made did not really do that incredibly well when I first published them. And that brings me to my next point. Now, if you follow all of this advice and you put up your channel, you make great thumbnails and your video content is engaging to viewers, but maybe you're still not doing that well on YouTube and you're wondering why you even started. Now, I actually have to tell you guys and be honest, I am very much somebody that worries about things. I'm meticulous about things, but I've actually never worried about my YouTube channel. And the reason being, because I upload daily, it allows me the freedom to do what I want, to not have time to really care about the reception of one singular video. Because before I know it, if that video isn't doing well, another video is following close behind. Just to give you a really concrete example, going back to that video where I transform a $9 grocery store cake into a $40 plus bakery level cake, that video debuted at maybe like 4 out of 10, I think, and it didn't really pick up speed for months and months. But all of a sudden, that trend became popular, and now it's over 4,000 views. And I know that's still kind of small in the realm of things. A lot of YouTubers have videos in the millions, but just that small bit of success in the short amount of time that I've been on YouTube is really great to see. But it took patience. don't delete your videos. And I see this issue a lot. Don't delete your videos. It's not that big of a deal if something doesn't pick up right away. Now, if you're deleting your videos for a completely different reason, that's fine, of course. But don't delete your videos just because there's not a lot of views and you think that people aren't liking it. It takes patience. YouTube, for most people, is a time game. It is not something that just goes viral and all of a sudden you have 100,000 subscribers. Now, there are a lot of YouTubers out there where good things happen and continually keep happening along the way. And they keep hitting these milestones because YouTube's algorithm keeps pushing their videos forward. But it takes a little while for YouTube to figure out what you're all about and what your channel is all about. So what I can recommend to you as a baking channel is just to make sure to stick to the niche. If you stick to videos within the food umbrella, you're probably going to have an easier time for YouTube to pick up your videos. Also, make sure that you remain family friendly. I really like to make sure that I keep my content family friendly and make sure that it's something that the whole family can enjoy if they're into baking. So I hope that helped with you guys. If you are debating about starting a baking channel while you're working as an at-home baker or you're running your own bakery business, I hope maybe you think of my live idea as something that would be plausible for you. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can be part of the Sweetie fam. Right now, I'm uploading daily, so make sure you hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. Also, be sure to comment, request, or ask a question. I love hearing from you guys. Bye!